Welcome to Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise and News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA, and brought to you by the Jefferson School Foundation, with Markiana and Price coming to you from right here in downtown Charlottesville. Today we are thrilled to be joined by Ike Anderson, a Charlottesville native, a local artist, community organizer, and actor. He currently works for the Music Resource Center, where he was able to share his skills in music and dance with local youth and has been doing this for the last 20 years. I'm barely 20, so he's been teaching the youth longer than I've been almost alive.
So you're
10 years.
So you're
10
barely
plus
20?
10. I was 10, okay?
That's crazy. How you doing, bro?
Doing good, man.
Good to see you, man. I appreciate you taking the time with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So look, for folks who don't know you, haven't got the chance to work with you, give us a little bit of the backstory. So we talk about a little bit like the Spark Notes version of the bio, and then we'll keep it moving from there.
Okay. So I've been working at Music Resource Center for 20 years. I'm the community coordinator. I specialize in dance and music production there. I also handle all the outreach, and outside of Music Resource Center, I've done a lot of theater and performances in that aspect, stand-up comedy and other things like that.
Were you always into theater as a young person too? Or?
Yeah. I grew up doing theater and really got it going once I got into high school and was getting down with doing productions at Live Arts, and just kind of grew from doing that there.
How does one get into theater? I love the theater, but I'm like, is it like you start as a stagehand, and then you're like, you know what, I'm pulling the ropes. They're on stage, and it's like, you know what, I could do that. I can memorize some lines, or like, how did you? Just somebody come up and ask you to get into it?
It could go like that. It didn't necessarily go like that for me. I was never very good as a techie, but as a performer though. But for me, I got a call from a friend who was in a play, and they had lost a performer who was also a dancer, and they needed that for the character, and that's kind of what started me doing theater was that play in particular, and it was a live arts production.
Do you remember what it was?
I was just about to say.
What is it?
Look,
I was dancing, I was singing, but what was it?
What was the name of it? This was during the Summer Theater Festival in 2001, and I don't remember
what you were doing in 2001.
I was 4. Okay. 1997.
Okay.
I was 4. Okay. I was probably at my grandma's house because we wasn't going to no daycare. Okay. My grandma used to watch me.
What the name
there you go.
Gosh. But it was dancing too?
I was a dancing lion.
Okay. And you sure it wasn't the Wizard of Oz?
It was not.
But it was a lion.
I did that the next year.
Dang. I was like, okay, cool. When I saw that you were in Dreamgirls, I was like trying to guess your character. Were you Curtis?
Nah, I was.
Bad guess.
I was director.
Oh, you were directing.
Yeah, I was co-directing with Julie Hamburg, and I was choreographer too.
Oh, I thought you was acting in it. I was like, yeah, that's one of my faves.
I was.
Go here. What's it like being, the juxtaposition between being a director and being an actor, and do you like one better than the other?
With being a director, you have to, you've got to know what the show is, and you've got to be able to answer everyone's questions about the show. And if you don't answer everyone's questions about the show, then they're going to make up their own answers. But when you do answer everyone's questions, they just tell you the answer that they want to hear anyway. That's what directing is.
Okay.
What acting is a great collaboration between you and your partners on stage and the director to build what your character is and how to tell your story truthfully, and how that works with everyone on stage.
Talk a little bit about growing up in town, and so and this is a question that we've had to a couple of the folks who have Charlottesville natives who are still around and doing community work, right? Like, did you Did you leave? Did you want to leave? Did you like sort of like what is sort of your version of becoming, you know, sort of a leader in the community? Was it like you just kind of fell into it? Was it intentional?
I guess I kind of fell into it because everything I ever wanted to do, I've been able to do here.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know?
And maybe
So
getting
you never
out
felt a real reason to.
Yeah, maybe
bounce.
getting out is trying to do something that you can't do here.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, everything like I've ever wanted to do, like it's either been linked here, it started here, or it's just been right here, you know. So you know, everything from, you know, plays and, you know, all the opportunities that I get from, you know, from doing theater. You know, I've directed some great shows in town, and I don't think I would have been able to have that opportunity said, you know, if I would have, you know, I would have been just another Joe Schmo in New York. I would have been another Joe Schmo in LA, you know, but like here, you know,
You're
by
the top
that time,
guy.
like, I'm a guy, you know.
Were you when did the arts bug sort of bite you as a kid? Were you just like that real young? Is there someone who you can point to that like, yo, I spent a lot of time around this person or that person?
I mean, it was always kind of there as a kid. Like I was never really into sports growing up.
Dancing a sport.
I mean, yeah, dancing is a sport. It's athletic, you know. But like, you know, ask a football player that, you know. So
shoot, listen, they say that until they make you they start making you take dance classes.
I remember something like that, like a crossover episode.
That is.
It's a
crossover thing.
I know it is. It's a crossover thing. It's not a like consistent thing, right?
Yeah.
So it is. Here's what I will say from knowing people and having to have done some of that type of stuff. It's big in like footwork and sort of you know, kind of body orientation type stuff. It's not a thing that you'll ever see those dudes do like every day, but it's real in a sense of like it is an incredible way to sort of get a better understanding of like your body's place in space.
So here's something crazy.
Yeah.
I used to work at this boarding school for boys for a while, and there I had to do a lot of sports, which is something I don't really do.
Yeah.
But you know, because of, you know, my years with dance, I have, you know, some sense of coordination and athleticism. I can figure it out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the way that like football like really like clicked to me.
Football
and
is
like,
dancing if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
It
oh
moves.
yeah. You gotta have some you gotta be light on
Rhythm,
those feet.
yeah.
You gotta be able to move that body, you know what I mean? And especially with some flag football.
Yeah.
Like people ain't
They
just
be
like,
dancing.
yeah, you gotta jig, you gotta whoop and doop, you know, and I was whooping and dooping on them.
Yep.
And
Exactly
fast.
Right. Yeah.
Come on.
That's right.
It's,
That's exactly right.
And so, you know, and that's a cool thing about being a dancer is that like I've been able to like let that I've been able to incorporate it in most things that I do. So like whether like that's like between like movement or like how like I attack a plan, like you know, same way that like I would deal with like choreographing a dance, but we're not gonna go into all of that.
We can go into wherever you gotta go, my friend. But yeah, so as a young person, I mean, do you have a moment, a person, a program, a place? I mean, like when did it really, you know? And I think that we all, you know, you play basketball, you know, and I was a sort of a bizarre kid. I was a sports kid. My dad's a musician, so I was sort of like a weird sports music kid. But I do remember the moment where I was like, okay, these are the things that like I'm good at and that I like. You know, sort of when do you feel like it evolved out of the thing that like your either parents kind of shuffled you in? Like my kid's 6, right? She just does everything, right? We just put her in all the stuff, and then, you know, sort of we're just kind of like, try this, do that, da 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 da. Do you remember the moment where you're like, oh, like this is the thing that I like?
Oh, it was definitely high school.
Really?
It was high school, and I was like really settled on becoming a really good dancer.
Okay.
And I was spending all my time at Music Resource Center. I was dancing every day. I was choreographing every day, like trying to figure out like it was a great way for me to like make sense of the chaos in my head. Like it brought a calm to me, and I was able to like get energy out and all of that. But it led to other things because got my first injury with dance, and I wasn't able to dance for a while, so I still wanted to be involved at Music Resource Center.
Yeah, wow.
So I started learning how to make beats.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah. And so making beats led me to like hanging around tons of rappers because like they hear my beats, they like, I need that.
Yeah.
Let me get that.
Yeah.
So now I'm making all these beats for all these rappers, and so like now I'm on the hip hop scene, you know. I'm on the hip hop scene, and so it just started to like blossom that way, and you know I'm living these two worlds of like doing all this dance stuff, and you know making beats and hanging with all these great musicians and stuff. So you know I became part of this community that really loved what they did, and it made me love what they do and made me want to do what they do too. So all of that really started at MRC. So I grew up in the program. I don't know if y'all knew that, but it kind of started for me like even before high school, when I was a member there. I started there in like 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I didn't start off dancing there. What's funny, I started off DJing. They had
so you was making beats at that point too.
I mean, I was making a mess of anything,
scratching up somebody's machine.
And you know what's funny is that we have a old vinyl library at MRC.
Oh, cool.
And I just recently had an intern alphabetize it, and they were going through, and he was like, "What CD is what record is this?" And you pull out this old Violator Q-tip, Q-tip vinyl, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen that in almost 30 years, man. Like, I was scratching that thing up. Yeah, I scratched that record all the way up.
That is crazy. Look, if you're just jumping in, this is Envision Radio from the 90 Wave Greater Charlottesville, City of Promise, News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. Price and Markey here in the studio with Ike Anderson. Big shout out to our friends, our sponsors, the Jefferson School Foundation, proud owner of the Jefferson School City Center, that is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. So how is it being, on the other side of the fence at MRC, right, as someone who grew up in it, and grew up as a part of it and now working there? I mean, that has to be, I feel like it's obviously a great story, but I mean, like, how does that feel for you being able to walk in there every day?
It's dope, man. Like, you see in the kids what somebody saw in you coming up, and it's a really cool thing to watch, a kid who comes in and has all these desires that they want to do with music, and see how they leave. I think one of the main things that's kept me at MRC for so long is knowing that what we do works. Being a testament alone to that work, and seeing what it does for other kids. I know it works. I see it every day. And it's that satisfaction of knowing that what you're doing is not just life changing, it's everlasting. So it's dope going into work every day and knowing that you're gonna meet a kid who's never been in there before, who's really excited about what they want to do, or not even know what they want to do, and then a couple months down the road, they've got some guitar lessons under their belt. They started songwriting. They done met some friends there, and they really start to find themselves there. And I know what that's like. I found myself there too. So yeah,
that's cool. I had a question, but I lost it as soon as you said that.
Come on now.
I know.
Our job is not the hard one. we got an easy gig. What how has the program grown over the past? I mean, since you've been there since what, 05?
Yeah.
04, 05? So we're looking at almost 21 years. What is it? Is it largely the same? Is it different? How has it evolved? I mean, like, what are sort of the parts and pieces? As you've gone through it, that you've been like, oh, like, we've added that, we've changed that. Like, this is better than it was. When me in 5th grade was coming through.
Not a lot has changed in terms of like what we do, but like what we provide. We have our MRC certified program, which is really dope. We used to have a KSAT class back in the day, but now we have MRC certified, where we teach the kids, older students, audio engineering or live audio and sound, so that they're able to run recording sessions or run sound for a live show.
Yeah.
And they take a 16-week course and 16-hour course, and at the end of it, they have this big exam where like they like have a recording session, or like they have or we have like a demo band that they have to work the stage for, get their mics ready and all of that, get their levels right, and once they pass the exam, they get certified, and we send them into internships, and they get paid to work sound at whatever events they need help with and stuff like that. So getting kids paid is really dope.
Yeah.
We provide a lot more, as much as like we allow kids to go and do their thing. Some kids might need a little more structure than the freedom that MRC provides. So we have all sorts of different workshops that we do. Each day at MRC focuses on a different thing. Like we have beats one day, we have music theory another day, songwriting another, and then Free Food Fridays is a new thing that we're doing. We kicked that off last week with a cookout, and we're having another one this Friday with an open mic that we're having in the upstairs. And we haven't been in the upstairs in a long time because the Point Church owns the building now.
Oh, okay.
And they have their community hub there. And so they're open today, and tomorrow we're going to be upstairs for the first time since they've renovated everything. And so it's going to be a different experience, but looking forward to it.
So talk a little bit about an example, or if you have like one of your most memorable moments working at the Music Resource Center.
Working at Music Resource Center?
Yeah.
Oh, man, one of my most memorable moments. That's too many to name, man. Because
You said every moment I'm there is memorable.
like every day is such a good time, and every day has always been such a good time. The great thing about MRC is that it's just been this ever-developing family, and people come in and out of it, and the people who want to be there are there, and it's just always a great time. And it's really hard to pinpoint like something. Oh man, the cookout last week was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and it was the first time we did it. Our program director Jordan Perry was like, "I want to put something on the grill," and he's been wanting to do it for a while.
It's getting warm enough.
It is.
And last Friday was perfect.
Yeah.
And so we got out there. We actually got my dad on the grill. Shout out to Tex Banks. We got him on the grill, and we fed the kids. We had Boys and Girls Club come through. Shout out Boys and Girls Club Southwood. They came through. We had a good time, and we actually fed some people from the community that was walking by. They saw what we was doing. They was like, "Can I get a plate?" Absolutely. And that's another great thing that we do is we take care of our own. But man, I couldn't tell you I couldn't tell you, like, I couldn't pinpoint one great story as as a staff, because it's just too many.
That means you're in the right profession.
Yeah.
Every day, memorable, and maybe memorable is.
I got some memorable.
Maybe memorable is could be positive or negative, but like you want to be like, we didn't have so many good times I can't even name one. I got more great memories than I got fingers on my hand.
Like now that I gotta think about it, like all right. I do got a story in my head. This is like 2012, 2013.
Okay.
There was a student that who was a member there. She was a great singer-songwriter, and she wrote all these amazing country songs, great country music. And it was like her senior year, and she got bored with it and was about to quit music.
Huh.
And I was like, you don't have to do that. You might be taking a break. You might find, something else that you're digging in music. And the next day she busts in the studio. I'm making a beat, and she's like, Ike, I want to record an album. I'm like, okay, let's do it. She's like, no, I want to record like a Beyonce, Carrie Hilson R&B album. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And so we ended up, she was working with myself, and shout out to Monty Harrison at the time. And we all like collaborated together and made this dope, like soulful, banging R&B album. And it was a lot of fun. We pushed the envelope a little bit, but like this was like the big project that we were doing back then, and it was it was a great time to make music. And the cool thing about MRC is that like everything's a collaborative effort, because people hear what you're doing all the time, and you can just like pop open the door and just like give a quick listen, like, all right, that's dope. Where you going with that? You can have a quick convo about, where you going with something like that.
Yeah.
That was a really collaborative effort. We had a bunch of producers provide some really dope stuff, and it really challenged me as a producer, and it was a great time. That was
you didn't pique my interest. Now I gotta hear it.
I don't know where you can find the album.
I was like, how does that work? Y'all helping people make the album? Where did it go?
I mean, to help them make the album.
No,
like where do people make things that you can the public can listen to?
So for starters, with MRC, we put out a compilation album.
Okay, cool.
We've always put out compilation albums. It's been the last one we just put out was just What You Want. And you can find all of those on Bandcamp. So you can go back and listen to like, the album from like 2006.
What's Bandcamp?
It's
a streaming service. Is it like what is that old? Right now I can't even think of the streaming service.
You trying to dig up Napster? Was
that
where you were going?
I can't even think of the name of the one that was from my people, my generation.
You thinking LimeWire?
Yeah, we did have LimeWire.
Yeah.
I feel like it was the color orange. SoundCloud?
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, maybe?
Yeah, is that yours? Is that what
we were on SoundCloud when I was coming up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is that like SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go. If you guys are just jumping in, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise, News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM, WINA. Price and Markey here with Ike Anderson in the studio. Big thanks to our sponsors, to our friends at Jefferson School Foundation. That is jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. Reimagined, redefined, refueled for the future. What are you working on now? Where's your time? So outside of your work with MRC, what is filling the creative bucket?
Well, I have a radio show on WTJU called Late Night with Ike, Thursday nights at 9.
Nice.
So if y'all ever need to promote something, hit me up.
Yo, all right.
Is it every Thursday night?
Every Thursday night at
9 o'clock. We're going to send you, because you know what I'm doing at 9 o'clock at night? You boys
We nonprofit professionals like to do our radio show during the work hours.
Listen, the joke is that after the 3-year-old goes to bed, the 38-year-old goes to bed. Sometimes simultaneously. So that's that. I'm gonna leave that to you. You can burn the night oil.
9:00 p.m.
Yeah.
Tell us about the show.
So I do a Throwback Thursday kind of deal. Y'all remember 92.7
Yeah.
and how great it was for us back in the day, and I try to bring back that vibe with playing stuff from that era.
Yeah.
Like just like real, like I get real specific. I made like a whole playlist like based on memory.
Okay.
Of that time?
Yeah, and I got like 8 hours.
Yeah.
I remember like 8.5 hours of music from that station.
What is? I'm gonna ask you this too. What do you have? Like, what is like the defining sound for you, right? Of that, because how old are you? We're roughly the same age.
I'm 39.
Okay, so I just turned 38. So we were
right there.
Yeah, so we were in the we were.
I'll be 40 next month.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, 40's the new 30. That's what they.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something like that.
Yeah. So we
We're
came.
gonna find out.
So we came of age at the same time. But what is it like? What is it for you, right? Like, what is when you think about kind of your coming of age? Like, what is the sound for you?
Man, 90s R&B is iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna be the new jazz standards in
Interesting. Okay.
in a couple of years. Because like there was so much like just fresh music happening, and everyone was a powerhouse vocalist. Like you couldn't just like play around and just be marketable.
Yeah.
Like how it is now.
Sure.
Like you had to put it down.
You had to do it. Yeah.
I have a playlist that I made for students that I teach. It's called Life Before Beyonce.
Okay. Sure.
Because like I feel like she's the pinnacle of like what a great artist is today.
Mm-hmm.
But in the 90s there were 100 of her.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm constantly like playing that music
Yeah.
for them in class and stuff, and it's great to like hear them like walking in singing the songs that like I've taught them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm losing my train of thought.
It's mostly what the show's about.
We're missing belters. We need to bring the belters back. We need big belters.
There were some belters. Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
What's funny? I feel like my 90s music, because I'm 10 years
Well, it
younger
doesn't
than-
have to be 90s. It's just what is your coming of age? Like, what's the sound for you when you're like, this is the thing that stuck with me?
I love Queen Latifah. Like,
You do love Queen Latifah.
I love Queen Latifah. I was just now listening to Ladies First on the way here. Like,
The Safari Girl.
yeah, something about, and then I also took a rap course in college where we wrote essays about women's rap, and like, I already loved her then, but I only took it because I wanted to hear more about Queen Latifah. Okay. And I was like, this was a period of time that I wish I could have been a conscious individual for, because I think that was the time. Like, I love, like, and then my teacher was like, she was like the neighbor of the brat, and she like called her up while we were in class, and we got to talk to her. Yes, and I grew up as like street cousins, and I was like, this is somebody like, yes, Queen Latifah, UNITY, Ladies First, like when she went through her Afrocentric period, like that is quintessential music for me. Yeah, and I think shapes how I like move through the world. As a black woman and a rapper. I'm not a rapper, but like her, she's a rapper, and that's the music that cares to me.
I've always said
Dana
that,
Owens.
Like, I've always said that like if I could time travel, I would always want to go back to like see my favorite songs get recorded.
Ooh, I never thought about that as a time traveling.
Like I would love to see like the recording process for like Let's Stay Together.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
Sure.
And I mean, recording processes are going to bring like different stories every time.
Sure.
Sometimes they're not as great as we think.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's great to to see what music comes from.
Sure.
And because I mean, you know, I know my inspirations from like stuff that I've made.
Yeah.
And you know, my process has always been different.
You mean than other people, or just
every time?
Yeah.
Just like every time
okay.
I've made
Okay.
something, like the process has always been different.
You don't start with the down.
It's always different.
Okay.
I've never like gone and be like, I have to do this first and then do this first and then I have to do that, and like it's always different. And I think if like you treat it formulaically, then you're going to get the same song every time.
Yeah.
And sometimes that works for certain people. You know, if you got something that works for you, that
Right.
you stay in that lane. Like
Right.
you go ahead. If you want to veer off, like, you know, like wait.
For
till
real,
you
got a formula?
I mean, yeah, he do, and it works for him.
It works for him.
Yeah.
What about you? What about your
Mustard
music?
got a formula.
That's right.
It works for him.
Yes,
you
yeah.
know?
Your coming of age music song
Mine,
or artist?
very clearly was
Backpack rap?
2000s. Yep, it was
Okay.
2000s. It was,
He's a
it was
back
early
rap.
Kanye. It was Lupe. It was
Yeah.
Pharrell. It was Consequence. It was because it was just that whole era. I think I was like 11 at the time, and that also so that coincides interestingly with like a lot that was played in my house was like blues and jazz, and so then it was all that stuff it was all the blues and jazz that was being sampled.
Yeah,
in the hip hop.
that makes sense.
Right. And so, and I've told the story before, but I'll never forget some of, you know, all these guys, a lot of the samples are their Ray Charles samples, or there's like Thelonious Monk horns in the back or whatever. And so I remember very vividly listening to some song, and like both my parents were humming it. Now my parents are just like, at that point they're in their 40s or whatever, and I'm like 50s. I'm like, how do you guys know this song? Right? This is like the cool music that the cool kids are listening to, and they're both like, son, like, be serious. Like this is our music, right? Like this is jazz. This is right. And so that was the moment for me and I love that story because it's just it was really interesting to then sort of start to. It was the first time I ever clocked that. Like, and I'd love your take on this. We've talked about this with someone else, but like, is there anything new like with regards to sort of music and art? Is that how do you feel about that? Because for me, I was like, oh, cool. We can sort of dink and dunk and modulate, but like. All of the sounds that are out there.
There will never be a new sound.
But now we're just putting them together differently. Or do you think there's new stuff? There's like new stuff out in the ether somewhere.
I think there will come a time where we get something new. I see this era very much like how I see music in the 1970s. And hold on.
1970s.
The music in the 1970s was like very intersectional, and like everyone was making like just about the same kind of music. You didn't really know who was appropriating who.
Okay.
You know,
It's a race. All those race records.
but like from that you had like the birth of punk music.
Mm-hmm.
You had the birth of hip hop music. You know, you had metal, and you know, and all the subgenres that came from that, from that's evolution.
Sure.
And so now we're in this space where like hip hop sounds like pop music. It also sounds like house music. It also sounds like country music. You know, and so like now country artists can like jump in on hip hop now too. And pop artists can just like there's this intersectionality that's happening, and you know, it's not necessarily like a formula behind any of it, and I feel like something is going to come around that's new. I think hip hop has what I teach my students is that hip hop is a product of American poverty. And that's where its richness comes from. We now have a generation that is listening to hip hop that isn't necessarily coming from the same place of poverty that hip hop came from when it started. You know, these are, you know, now, you know, we can put our kids in private school. You know, they don't have to see the hood. You know, but they but they love the music, so there's a difference. There's a difference in what comes from people that are not living hip hop, but are just listening to it. So I feel like that's where like we get people like the Jack Harlows and even the Drakes,
Sure.
people who are fans of hip hop that are making what they're making. And yeah,
I love music analysis. This is interesting.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Like they're not living hip hop historically.
Yeah, there's what I teach is that like in poverty you have to make something from nothing. And that's what hip hop was, is that, we couldn't afford the drum sets or the guitars and the amps and you definitely couldn't play nothing like that in an apartment building, but you had your mom's record player. And you had you had the joints that made y'all party. And you had that one favorite part that you loved. And that was where like everybody would say like the fun, cool stuff. And that turned into something, and and that's what hip hop comes from. It's making music with music that's already made, because and making music with what you have.
Which is the same, sort of theoretically, it's similar to like the blues themes too, right?
Exactly.
Like, right. So that holds the sort of like the tradition of kind of hardship that is expressed both sort of modally and content wise, like in the music, which I think is really interesting. Before we jump into what I need to ask you about, which is technology and music, because we got to have this conversation too.
Okay.
You are listening to Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville, NCAA Promise News Radio, 98.9, 1070 AM WINA. Price, Markey here with Ike Anderson. Big thanks. Jefferson School Foundation, our friends, our sponsors, jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. So I do want to, so we're in modern times, right? How much of a music purist are you? With regards to technology and sort of music and how that changes or maybe doesn't change kind of the nature of. You have said this before. You have said that you think it how long before there's a AI Grammy winner? You said 5 years.
Yeah, I was like 5 years. I thought it was gonna be an AI Grammy winner last year. They was gonna tell us at the mic when they asked Camilla XGXT to come out.
Nobody comes up to accept
Camilla
the award.
X1, and her producers come out who are the AI. And they're like, she was fake. Y'all been listening to a bot sing music and you loved it.
So I have two questions for you about that, right? Like, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think that's coming? But then also this sort of bigger philosophical question of like, how does that affect like the production of art?
Well, we're going to hear the things she went through in the computer. That's the historical oppression that she faced. That's what the music's about.
They didn't run my software update.
They didn't run my
I feel like it's easy to get good music to get good catchy music out of AI. It's easy.
Sure.
There's enough data for AI to make good music.
Good as defined by popular?
By popular.
Right.
I don't think like we're not gonna come in a time where like, we're gonna see people with AI artists like getting Grammys. And that's simply because
So you're a purist.
If you want to say so, yeah. I mean, I've been making beats for, I've been doing music production since 2002, and there's a level of there's something that AI can't do, that AI can't put into the music that an actual person can.
Absolutely.
I feel like those who are easily impressed are gonna jump on AI and and push it to be what it's going to become. But these are also the same people who haven't seen Terminator 2.
Right.
Like, how are we here, dog?
We can't even make prophetic movies anymore because nobody's listening.
Stranger Than Fiction.
Melania walking next to a Terminator. Yo, y'all haven't seen the movie.
Yeah. It does not end well.
It's a documentary.
Art mimics life. Life mimics art.
Life imitates art. So let me ask you this. What is, so if I'm conceptualizing this correctly, which it's a fair chance I'm not, but from what I understand, largely currently with regards to sort of content creation, art and music, right? The information that is available out in the world is the information that any large language model is culling from to create a thing. So if I go, okay, I want you to make me a 3-minute song at 180 beats per minute that is a combination of Ike Anderson, the Chainsmokers, and Nas, it'll give me something. Like some version of those things, given what I put in. What does that mean for like the stuff that the people have created, right? Like how do we then get like, can you
How do artists
that?
Get paid from that?
Yeah, or
It's all
should you be allowed? Like, what is the protection for?
It's given musical slavery.
Well,
Yeah.
And I only ever heard a hip hop and R&B AI artist. I'm not hearing them banjos in the back
Right.
when I'm hearing this AI music. And now I'm starting to get
That's
concerned.
interesting. Okay, so throw a little Bella Fleck in there just for the sake of
I
equity.
need everybody's music stolen.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do it, might as well
Why
take the
am I
whole.
not
take the
hearing
whole
AI
catalog.
banjos?
But what does that mean in the business, right? For all the stuff that's out there that's already been created, like how do?
And that's a scary thing because like these labels, they own your musical property. They can
Sure.
do what they want with it. It gets to a point where like they won't need you to make the music. Like,
Right.
Well,
so that's kind of my question, right? If you have enough mustard beats, you can just
Make mustard
theoretically
beats.
make your own, right? Like some
Yeah.
dude sitting like me in this thing who owns his catalog or enough of it can just be like, I want a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that.
yeah.
And that gets sold, right?
And yeah, and it's the scary thing is that because what happens to live musical performances?
Totally.
We're just gonna go watch a 3D hologram K-pop Demon Hunter.
I mean, not too much. I like K-pop. Not too much. Like,
Truly though, I mean, I
I
think
haven't
it's
seen it yet.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I do
Okay.
I like the Tiger. The Tiger was great. I do like.
I enjoy the music.
Yeah,
I
the
love-
music was also good.
Music was it?
I'm into it.
Was it AI? Yeah, those are voice actors right there singing.
Those are voice actors. Yeah.
Don't want to be contributing to the problem.
they won the Academy Award for
Yeah,
that.
they won an
did,
award.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
good music.
yeah. No, it was really. I mean, it was the music's really good, and they're obviously still immensely talented. But yeah, I mean, do you think do you share her view that that's coming? That we're not. I mean, we're not there yet, but are we sort of hurtling toward a slightly dystopian musical future? Or are you slightly more optimistic?
I don't know. I'm scared to see where it goes. But at the same time, the music that we want to hear is still out there.
That's true.
Like there's still great artists that are making really great music. That's going to hit you here every time.
Yeah, it's about what we give attention
That's
to.
making it from here every time, and I think if we continue to put our love into those artists rather than trying to find that that same feeling from a phone, like we're going to be better for it.
Does this realization influence sort of the stuff you do with the kids, right? I mean, I think that there's You've talked about this a little bit. That kind of,
we haven't necessarily used AI to create any music,
right? But in the older days, right? But there's some things that I find interesting, right? Because if you look at, I don't know why I ended up reading some like Charlie Puth stuff, but like guys, really interesting, and he's like a virtuosic like musician, like he's a musician, right? Who, from what I can tell, like was always kind of a writer and then kind of got thrust into like being a performer. But that guy like can do this stuff. And I think there was certainly more of that in sort of days of yore. Like more people who I grew up playing the piano, I grew up playing in church, I grew up playing the guitar. Like I'm trying to make music instead of just like create a song, if that makes any sense. Is that with kids, are you seeing a version of that? Are you seeing kids coming in being like, I want to be a musician, I want to learn to play the guitar and understand sort of tonally what this means and play the piano? Or is it like, I just want to be put in front of a computer and like understand more of the architecture of like how to put a thing together?
The kids that come to MRC want to make music.
Okay.
They want to know how to play the instruments. They want to know want to know how to mix the songs. They want to know how to write the songs. They want to know they want to know how to record the albums. They want to know how to be better dancers. They're there to become good musicians.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's the dope thing about it. Like there's not too many kids that are coming in and like trying to find the easy way out.
Yeah.
There really isn't an easy way out when it comes to building a skill.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
right. Yeah. Right.
There's no easy way around it. You have to get through whatever that is.
Yeah.
And for instance, I've growing up making beats, I've developed, I know my way around the piano. But it wasn't until I was 30, I was like, maybe I should try it with two hands.
Bing, bing, bing.
The old Peanuts routine. We got the bottom and the top.
And it was the hardest thing I've ever done with my brain.
It's like weird, right?
Just trying to like get that coordination. And like I've been doing it, for a while, and every time like I hear something new, I'm like, I want to know how to play that. Yeah. And so I remember when like learning a song took me like a month of practice, and now like it's like a week or two. So it's always about it's about practice and about going to that hard thing.
Yeah. If you are just jumping in, this is Envision Radio from the United Way of Greater Charlottesville and City of Promise. News Radio 98.9, 1070 AM, WINA. Price Markey here with Ike Anderson. Big thanks to our friends, our sponsors, the Jefferson School Foundation. Jefferson School Foundation, reimagined, redefined, refueled for the future. JeffersonSchoolFoundation.org. Okay, so back and forth, or wherever we are. I don't know where we are. Sideways. How have you been splitting your time between the music stuff, the MRC stuff, and then your sort of, are you doing any, drama things? Is there anything in the hopper right now? Are you writing something, producing something? What's going on in that world?
So I just did a really cool performance with this podcast during Virginia Festival of the Book. The podcast was called, it's still called, Our Ancestors Were Messy. And
I think I did see something about that.
It's a great title.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's these really cool Black history stories that deal with like all the juicy drama.
Sure.
We did a live performance where we were on stage, and there was a narrator, and there was a cast to perform what was being narrated.
Yeah.
Like Drunken History.
I was just about to say.
Drunken History, right?
First of all, how did that show not keep going? That show
this is funny.
Brilliant.
Absolutely
brilliant.
This is what we need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was also some like really cool like what would you do questions for the audience. Mm-hmm. So there was a representative on stage for the audience, and the audience also got the answer as well. Like And it was like really tough questions because this was a story that surrounded slavery during the
Yeah, what would you do if you was Harriet Tubman and the baby cried?
Right.
Well, this was surrounded around David George and the American Revolution, and so like there was like questions like, are you going to stay at the plantation with your family, or are you going to risk everybody's life and run? Like, what would you do?
Yeah.
And so like it was a lot of like really stressful questions like that, but like you learn like what he did, and then like, but you also kind of learn something about yourself, like.
They have, and there used to be like that show called What Would You Do? They would have people doing crazy stuff at the diner, and you gotta you don't know what would you do? It's like a 60 minutes concept.
Wait, what? Explain that.
So there was a show called What Would You Do?
Okay.
And so they'd have everybody would be actors except for one person.
Okay.
And they'd come in and something crazy would happen.
Okay.
Like one of the episodes would be like a mom is like berating her son for being large, or like something that you would be like, oh, that's not right. Should I mind my business?
Interesting. Okay.
Or should I get up and say something? So they used to do, it was like a show. And so they had all these things where then this old man would come out, from the 60 Minutes, he'd come out and be like, what made you get up and talk to that mama when she was slapping her son in the head?
Yeah.
She's like, and the person who's not an actor, but everybody in the room in the skit is actors. Like,
Okay.
I just couldn't stand it. Like, I wouldn't want somebody to do that to my child, blah, 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 blah. And so they've had a lot of episodes like that. But it was like 60 Minutes, What Would You Do?
Oh,
I can't believe you've never
okay.
seen this.
No, I never saw that.
I love that show because I'm like, I would be quiet and sit. Some people would do nothing, and they were like, why didn't you say anything when you saw him do that crazy thing? And I was like, I'm minding my business. I thought it was a prank, and it was.
That's right.
I know when I'm on reality television.
Right.
So it's like that, and it's I like that concept of what would you do in these really tough situations where there is no moral high ground.
Yeah. But yeah, you got to like you learn what they did, and because like some of them was like there's the final one was would you stay in Nova Scotia or would you go to the African colony in Sierra Leone? And I was like, I'm not moving no more.
Give me a jacket.
I'm staying in Nova Scotia. Like, I'm staying right here. And the people who went to Nova Scotia, the first colony died. But from those people, we got Chadwick Boseman and Idris Elba.
Okay.
And that was a crazy thing that I learned from that.
Oh.
Now,
So that timeline took them
it's
to them somehow.
It's a whole thing.
Like 6 degrees of separation?
It's
I believe it.
yeah. It's crazy. But it was a great story, and we performed it for Virginia Festival of the Book, and we're about to do it again on Juneteenth in Richmond, and looking forward to that. So I haven't really gotten into doing much acting this year, but I really enjoy doing that. That it's gonna take. It's going to take a script that really moves me to get me back on stage. It's been a while since I've done some acting that where a script moves me.
Do you have one in mind, though? Like, is there something that you really want to be in? If they brought it, you'd be right the first day in the audition hall. Yeah. What is the thing that you want to do?
All right, so it's a play I've already done.
You want to do it again?
Yes.
Okay.
So back in 2017, we did with the Charlottesville Players Guild at the Jefferson School. We did a production of Jitney, and it's 1970s August Wilson, and I played this character in it. He was basically like the villain of the show, and I had so much fun
being the villain.
Playing that character. Like it was one of the more challenging characters I've played because he was very wordy. Like a lot of his lines were pages.
Right.
So it was a huge challenge with everything he said. All his lines were paragraphs. But I just found so much range with him, and just being this wild force of nature, I did something for me. And if I can find that play like auditioning somewhere, like I'm going to audition that again. But there is another play that I'm reading, and I would absolutely love to perform this show. It's called The Shipment Lear. It's a two-part show where there's like a variety show in the beginning. It's a scripted variety show where it's got like interpretive dance, and it's got stand-up comedy, and it's got these like fake skits that play up these black stereotypes, and like the characters' names are like drug dealing Earl and crackhead John.
It's like that. It's like that play in the African American tradition. It's like it's not Hair, but it's like I know it's like a skit thing too, but I can't think of what it's called.
So yeah, and then the second part is called Lear, and it's about the three daughters of King Lear, and it's all black women, and it's such a great script, and I'm having so much fun reading it that like I'm really taking my time with reading. I'll read like a chapter or like a couple pages and be like, you know what, I gotta put that down. It's too good. I can't finish it all right now. And but it's so good, and it is. I mean, it's so raw and crazy. It's something Charlottesville needs. But it's something Charlottesville is not ready for.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all about providing something Charlottesville's not ready for.
Interesting.
Right.
We did that with Dream Girls. We did that with Ragtime. You know,
Yeah.
we did that with Jitney and Pharrell. If I got to bring this show here,
I mean, you're the person to do it.
Well, yeah. What does that process look like?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
What does that mean?
You just give them the script.
It's not that easy.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's definitely not that easy. You can only hope that a script like that comes across an artistic director's stage in one of the theaters that we have around here.
Right.
But
is that how that works? I mean, like, how does and I mean, this is a genuine question. I don't know, like, what does that mean? Like, you have it, so like, now what? Like, you've read it, like it. Who's your next call? Like,
how do we do it?
I could, talk to, my people at Live Arts and be like, I really like this show, and there's like a committee that reads scripts.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Okay. So there's a couple layers of like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also fine not going through them.
Right. Sure. But whoever it is, right? It's like there's some. There are some people that say, okay, cool, and then you sort of amass the funding and the folks and that whole kind of thing?
Yeah, and you got to get the rights to do a show, and getting the rights is
I heard it was hard.
Expensive. Like,
okay.
Yeah, that's going to be like 60% of your budget.
60?
Buying the script or like getting the rights?
Yeah.
60? Wow.
Yeah.
These shows don't play. Copyright ain't. Right. You can't just do those pop-up shows.
You're going to get a $20,000 budget, and like getting the rights is going to be $12,000.
Really? Man. All right. Well,
the show must go
put
on.
It together.
The show must go on.
It might not go on if you didn't get them right.
If folks want to keep up with two things, if folks want to find you or the work that you're doing, and or also get involved with the MRC, how do we link up?
You can hit us up on musicresourcecenter.org and apply to volunteer that way. You can also drop in Monday through Friday, 2:30 to 7. We're also open Saturdays from noon to 5. Each one of our staff is extremely knowledgeable about MRC and everything that we provide, and can answer all the questions that you have. If you're interested in working the desk or helping with fundraising or want to teach lessons and things like that, we have all of those opportunities for you. It's all you got to do is apply, and once we get through that process, we'll have you in there, being a part of the MRC family.
You good?
Yes, I found what I was talking about. It's called the Colored Museum. which is a set of skits. It was a play.
Okay.
It's 11 satirical exhibits / sketches exploring African American culture and identity, designed as a journey from slavery to contemporary life. The exhibits include all these skits, but that's what I was trying to. I was like,
Okay.
oh, it seems like it's in the sphere of the paying homage to the Colored Museum, which is a very old play
There you go.
about African American life.
Yeah, I got it from. I got the script from my friend Darnell Walker. Y'all may or may not know.
That sounds right.
And so if you know Darnell, he's quite eccentric. He's quite eclectic. And he gave me this book, and I really enjoy it. I'm glad he gave it to me. Shout out Darnell, man.
Cool. Well, listen. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
Time
This
flies,
is
my
dope.
friend. It was great. Listen, if you have ideas for the show or other people we should speak to or want to get in touch with us, find us on social media on all platforms at United Way Cville, at City of Promise, or drop us a note at vision at unitedwaycville.org. One more time, folks, get in touch with you, musicresourcecenter.org, and what else? Any social handles, any place to follow
my
along?
social media is Ike Easy Baby on everything. That's IKEEZY Baby. Like if you looking for me, that's it. It's on everything.
That's the one. And again, big thanks to everyone listening. We get support from folks like you, and if you like what you hear, share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues, strangers, wherever you may be. Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, wherever you get your podcasts. Rate, review, leave a comment. That's the best way to support the show. And also consider making a contribution to City of Promise, United Way, Music Resource Center, any of your favorite local nonprofits. That's how we continue doing our community-based work. And of course, this show. Big thanks again to our sponsor, the Jefferson School Foundation. That's jeffersonschoolfoundation.org. And for Ike and Marky, this is Price. We hope you enjoy the weather. We will see you next week.
Peace.
Peace out.